This exercise, we're going to take a look at modifying the alignment for Pike Road on the southern portion of our project. So Pike Road is down here. Mountain Highway intersects somewhere over here. So let's zoom in here, and you can see we have a pretty tight reverse curve situation here. So we got some pretty sharp curves going on. And what we want to do is we want to put in some flatter curves in this area here. I already have the geometry created that I want to add to Pike Road in this area. I have that drawn on a separate level. So let me go up to my levels here and turn that geometry on so you can see it. So you can see I got some much flatter curves here that I want to add to my Pike Road alignment. Now this is just an individual complex element at this point. So what we want to do is we want to be able to add this to the Pike Road alignment. Now I also want to take a look at the vertical alignment for Pike Road. Because if you recall, the profile is ruled and associated to the horizontal alignment. So let's just take a quick look at the profile. So I'm going to open it up in view number 4 here. Okay, so there's my profile for Pike Road. And let's zoom out in the plan view. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to go in here and we're going to use the complex redefine tool to add this new geometry and replace it into the Pike Road alignment. Okay, so I'm going to go up to geometry. And over here, you'll see the complex redefine tool. And again, this is used to redefine geometry over a certain range. It just substitutes in new geometry. It also preserves all the rules built off the original geometry. So keep that in mind. The vertical will still be ruled to the horizontal. So let's go in here and use this. So let's select complex redefine, select our Pike Road alignment, and then locate the new geometry that we want to substitute in or add to the Pike Road alignment. So I'm going to select this curve combination here, and look what it does. It goes and it creates and adds that to our alignment. Now it keeps your old geometry, it just changes it to a different color and makes it not active. But if you hover your cursor over the new geometry, you'll see it's now part of Pike Road. You'll also see that the profile gets updated as well. So it's a really handy tool for when you have to perform some more complex changes on your alignments. Now that Pike Road's been updated, we need to extend the mountain highway alignment so that it connects to Pike Road. So we're going to first do that by just creating a line that's tangent from this curve off of mountain highway. So we're going to go up to the geometry tools here. We're going to go line, and we're going to use simple line from element. And I'm going to zoom in here a little bit closer. And what we're going to do is we're going to select the mountain highway element here. And for our starting point, we just want to select the endpoint of the mountain highway alignment. And then notice when we do that, it's extending the wrong direction. So what we want to do is we want to make sure we extend to the south here. So we want to key in a negative value. So I'm going to key in negative 500 so I can force it to go 500 feet south of the alignment. And I'm going to left click to accept. And it's going to create that particular piece of geometry. We're going to set the trim and extend option to none, and then we're going to left click to accept. Okay, so it creates that additional piece of geometry. Now what we want to do is we want to extend that so that it intersects the Pike Road alignment here. So I'm just going to go over to my drawing tool to do that. I'm going to go over to the trim to element tool. This allows us to lengthen or shorten elements to another element. So I'm going to select that. It's going to prompt us to identify elements to modify. Well, we want to modify this line we just created. And then the cutting element is going to be our Pike Road alignment. So I'm just going to select that. And it's going to extend until it intersects the Pike Road alignment. Now, to make that particular line, to add it to our mountain highway alignment, we need to go back and use the append element tool again so that we can add this line to the mountain highway alignment. So I'm going to go over here to geometry. We're going to go to the modify tools, and we're going to go to append element. We're going to select the mountain highway center line. I'm going to add that piece of geometry that we just created. Then we're going to right click to complete. We're going to come over to the selection tool. And if you select mountain highway, you'll see that the tangent line was indeed added to the mountain highway center line. Now we've completed making changes to Pike Road and the mountain highway center lines, we need to go and update the corridor that's associated to the mountain highway geometry. So I'm going to close my profile window here. I'm going to open up a different drawing. I'm going to go to my mountain highway corridor. Now this geometry that I just made changes to is actually a reference file that's attached to my corridor and it controls my corridor. Okay, so when I open up the mountain highway corridor, it will automatically update because I have this geometry file referenced in. Okay, so when you go and you zoom in down here, you'll notice that the corridor now follows the mountain highway geometry that we had changed. So I'm going to go back to my geometry file and then we will continue with the rest of the exercises here.